Good afternoon, dear students. So, after the completion of the lesson, The Gardener of P. Lankesh, and discussing the comprehension part of the lesson. So, we have dealt with 4-mark questions as well as 6-mark questions. And also, we have discussed the important questions for 4-mark questions. So, I guess 99% we will be having a question, a 4-mark question in this chapter, The Gardener. But now, as we have completed the lesson, The Gardener, so we are going to take up the new poem by our national poet, the Gnanapita Awardee of Karnataka in Kannada literature is Mr. Kuwempu. Kuppalli Venkatappa Puttappa, we say K.V. Puttappa, the original name of Sri Kuwempu. And he has given us poem in our Kannada language as under the title Swargave, ಭೂಮಿಯೊಳದಿರೆ ನೀರು ಭೂಮಿಯೊಳದಿರೆ ನೀನು. So this is the title of Mr. Kuwempu. But when we come to the translated title, say it is heaven, comma, if you are not here on earth, if you are not here on earth, ಸ್ವರ್ಗವೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಭೂಮಿಯೊಳಿರದಿರೆ ನೀನು. Heaven, see, by Kuwempu. And this poem of Kannada has been translated by one more Kannada writer, a Professor C. Nagarna. Okay, let us see or know about our beloved poet, the great poet and first Gnanapita Awardee, Sri K.V. Puttappa. He was born in the year 1904. When? 1904. And he is widely known by the pen name called Kuwempu. Is his pen name. He is acknowledged as the greatest poet of the 20th century Kannada literature. Imagine 20th century Kannada literature. Okay. Then he is the first among 8 recipients of Gnanapith Award for Kannada. First recipient. First to get Gnanapith Award for Kannada literature. And he is the first among 8 recipients of Gnanapith Award for Kannada. He is the second after Mr. Govinda Pai, M. Govinda Pai, among Kannada poets to be revered as Rashtra Kavi, that is a national poet. National poet. And his work Sri Ramayana Darshanam, a rewriting of the great ancient Indian epic Ramayana in modern Kannada, is regarded as the revival of the era of Mahakavya, that is epic poetry in English, in a contemporary form and charm. Does that Sri Ramayana Darshanam is the great work of Sri Kuvempu. Sri Ramayana Darshanam. The great work of epic poem of Mr. K.V. Puttappa here, and for which he got the Gnanapith Award. And he is immortalized by some of his phrases, and in particular for his contribution to universal humanism, or in his own words, Vishwa Manavata Vada, Vishwa Pata Anuja Mata. He was conferred Padma Vibhushana by Government of India. He has penned the Karnataka state anthem, Jaya Bharata Jananiya Tanujate. So the present anthem of Karnataka state, our state, is the poem written by Sri Kuvempu, and which is under the title Jaya Bharata Jananiya Tanujate. And there were so many things and so many works contributed by Kuvempu to Kannada language and literature here. And as of PU students to go with the information about the author, I think it's enough, because we know many more things about Kuvempu and Kuvempu's life also. Such a real human being he is. And you can imagine the anthem of our state, that is Jaya Bharata Jananiya Tanujate. And he was famous for his principled life, humanitarian life, disciplined life, and honest life as a very good human being. So that's what we need for a human being is. So now, he is the original reader, written the prescribed poem for us in our Kannada language. Under the title, Swargave Bhumiyolirodire Neenu, Bhuviyolirodire Neenu. And it is our Professor Naganna. Okay, Professor C. Naganna, that is, we can say doctor here, yes, Dr. C. Naganna, who has taken the difficulty or the responsibility of translating this great poem of a great author or poet, Kuvempu, into English under the title Heaven if you are not here on earth. Swargave Bhuviyolirodire Neenu. Heaven if you are not here on earth. Why I am repeating? Because so many students of our student, they commit mistake in writing the title of the prescribed text. They fail. They miss out some words here. See, Swargave Bhuviyolirodire Neenu. If you say the complete things, so then it will be more effective and feel interested to listen. And it is meaning. If you miss out something, Swarga or Neenu, Bhuvi or Yoladire, if you may commit mistakes between, so the original meaning will go off. We will never feel really interested to listen if you omit or miss out any word from the title here. See, heaven if you are not here on earth. So what will happen? And it ends with a no mark here. Nothing here. I think if you use a question mark here, I think it would be more emotional, sentimental as such. Okay, coming to our translator here. One more thing is my lecturer in Maharaja's College, Mysore. So where I was studying my graduation in Maharaja's College, Mysore, and he was teaching us the English. C. Naganna. And in Maharaja's College. And I am happy to say that I am a student of Mr. C. Naganna. Lucky, happy here, whom I am studying after so many years of his contact with me. And he is a well-known poet, critic and translator. Yes, poet, critic and translator. He has brought out more than 20 books in both Kannada and English so far. See the writings of C. Naganna. We find them in English as well as in Kannada language. So nearly 20 books he has translated in both Kannada and English. His Kannada translation of Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart is a very famous novel of Chinua Achebe which brought him a Nobel Prize for Literature. Things Fall Apart is a novel, a very famous novel of Chinua Achebe, and it has been translated into Kannada by a very hard work writer, C. Nagarna, under the title Banga. And the English rendering of Kuvempu's discursive essays. See, these were the works which have been translated from English to Kannada, Kannada to English here. And the rendering of Kuvempu's discursive essays to English. Nirankusha Matigalagi, as Unsettle Your Minds and other essays have been well received by the readers. He is a professor of comparative literature and translation studies. Besides being director of Prasaranga, the publication division of the University of Mysore, a number of organizations have honored him for his literary and cultural contributions. So these were the writings and works of Mr. or Dr. C. Nagarna here. And this particular writer has given us a very well translated version in English language here. And we too are lucky to read such a personality, or even me too feel very proud to read my own guru or a lecturer who taught me 3 years in my graduation. So he used to take the comparative literature, under which a paper was there in our optional Englishes, and he used to teach us so many things in related with literature, translation and other works as such. Okay, dear students, move on to our pre-reading activity here. Okay, be careful. Once again, I am reminding you of using comma after even here. Then if you are not here on earth, you don't miss out any word here. Then the pre-reading activity. Do you agree that one's life is what one makes of it? Individuality. One's life is what one makes of it. Yes, of course. There may be exceptional cases, very few exceptional cases. But here, as a man or human, you are the only person in your life to decide or to work or to do what you want it to be in your life. It's not others or anybody else who can make you what you feel, what you aimed, what you want to become. Nobody can make your wish or desire, ambition become possible or successful. If you want to become a doctor, you should study. You should work hard. If you want to become a sports personality, sportsman, you have to work hard. You have to maintain everything physically, mentally. Okay, you should be perfect in all the things. Taking food, okay, exercises, and all the things required to make yourself as a sportsman must go according to the terms and conditions, and you have to work hard. It's not somebody can make you. Somebody can walk and you can walk. No. It's you who have to work hard. It's you have to spend your time positively. And nobody, nothing in your life can make you whatever you want it to be in your life. No, it's our hard work, it's our willpower, it's our courage, it's our knowledge, it's our behavior, it's our character and conduct with the society, and it's our positive thinking, and it's our honest that is going to help us in our life. So a complete humane behavior with all the environment is required. With honest and hard work. Okay, with humane feelings, character, everything, you can achieve whatever you wanted to. Yes, we will agree with this. One's life is what one makes of it. Yes, that is the wish of me. If I want to eat or drink water, so I have to go to the pond or where the water is. And I have to take and I have to drink it. If I say water or demand or want water coming to my mouth, okay, let me quench my thirst. So I cannot order water to come and fall into my mouth as such, so that my thirst goes up. No, I have to go to the water and see that I bend and take a particular thing and take the water from it, and I have to bring my hand with a glass of water and pour it into my mouth. Then only I can come out of my what? Thirst, isn't it? So it is we have to decide about our life, that what we want it to be in future or to become in future, isn't it? Then second one, what comes to your mind when you think of the word heaven? Yes, this is what very important here. Yes, and you think of heaven and hell, God, and nymphs. So now, if you listen to these words, heaven, hell, God, nymphs, so what will you feel about these words? Is there any education or any course that you have studied about these topics or subjects? Is there anybody who have explained you what is heaven, hell, God, names? Or is there anything instructed or told or given any firm decision of what these people are, where these people are in the on earth or life in life? Or did these words are existing on earth? So what comes to our mind when you say heaven? So all of a sudden it goes, our fingers goes to up, and our head and eyes start moving towards up, thinking that the heaven lies in the sky. So that is the overall understanding, or most of our people believe that the heaven lies in the sky, and there is a belief that whoever commits good, he will be going to heaven, and commits evil, he will go to hell. So this is the belief or practice we have even today. Okay, both heaven and hell. And according to them, there are two separate entities called heaven and hell separately in this universe. What is the entities? Is it right? In universe. Do you believe? Then show. Then show me. You are all science students. I know that you know better than me that how many planets or stars or other things are there in our universe. Isn't it? And apart from that, we don't have anything in the sky. Still, so many scientists are searching for the things that we find in the sky. So, now and even tomorrow, so the research are going on in search of other things, whether they had hidden in universe as such. So as of that belief that we have created a separate worlds or given a place for these two, heaven and hell, and we had such belief that they are there, and people who dies will move to these two worlds of hell and heaven. Even our grannies, means grandmas, they tell stories of heaven and hell, and they tell some horrible things about hell, beautiful and interesting things about heaven, so that we should do only good, not bad. So this is, it signifies the good, isn't it? And this one is bad. So my grandma says me to do only the good things, so that I should get entry into heaven. I should get heaven. My grandma opposes and complains and teaches me not to commit or do any bad thing. Otherwise, you will be taken to hell. And the treatment of hell is very bad, inhuman there. They will boil us in a cauldron, a vessel with the burning oil in it. And if you do bad things, they will put in that cauldron or a vessel of oil which is burning, and they will punish you. So a child who is listening to grandma should decide then and there not to do or commit any bad thing. And this is the teaching that we will get from our grandmother. And you can imagine how our trainings, teachings began in our life. Through grandma who is uneducated, through an elder person who is uneducated. But even our grandma is educated, she will follow the same thing here. Why? Because the children at their early age should learn or taught good things. If they say or explain, describe like this, I think they are going to understand in a better manner. Isn't it? Children will feel more interested to listen to. If you teach with the textbook, with the particular syllabus, as a syllabus, I don't think they are going to show any interest to listen. They will play, they will make a action and show you, and they will show heaven, and they will describe so many beautiful things in the heaven, so that you should be fascinated, so that you should be attracted towards the heaven. Isn't it? Then so this comes to our mind whenever we think about the heaven here. And in the same way, God. God is also one supernatural power that has no shape. But you can create your own shape and start preaching or praying. And you can give your own name. You have all the freedom to that particular supernatural power, and you can start praying. But you have no right to force or compel anybody to pray with the same name, or to pray with the same structure form as such. So that is why I think I am clear in my explanation to this. Yes, you all agree with this, isn't it? Everybody has his own right, freedom to do things in his life, but only thing is he or she has to see that it should not be a disturbance, harm, hazard to any person in the society, any living or non-living thing on earth. So that is what we have to remember and follow here, isn't it? Right? Okay, if you have any doubts on this part of our discussion, or any topic, or if you have any suggestion or advice, or if any of my students will agree or interestingly to add something to this explanation, you are always welcome. You can write and send me online through your mobiles and help me to explain those things in tomorrow's class. Okay, or otherwise I don't think it is possible, because today's videos will be uploading some days in future, because it may take 2-3 days, I think. By that time, we will be completing our poem here. A very short, a simple poem, and that is a translated one. Really, you won't get any confusion or difficult in understanding the form of the poem or the structure of the poem or any figures of grammar like that. So no way, so you will be disturbed with unnecessary things in it. Okay, and God, a special force in our life, a special might in our life, energy in our life. It has to be there. If not, we go in wrong direction. If you don't think and believe that there is some power on us which guides us, suggests us, I don't think we can achieve things or normal in life as such. So keep as a force, energy, okay, in the form of your parent, mother, father, or a superpower, okay, almighty, or you can say Megillah, the Shakti. Yes, that's all okay. And human beings can become gods if he or she is honest, unselfish, kind, courageous, humane, helpful. With all these characters, I think one can really become God. That's how Rama became a God. That's how Jesus became a God. That's how Allah became a God. That's how Buddha became a God. They are all human beings today preached by we, all of us. Why? Because of their good deeds. This because of their sacrifice, because of their knowledge, because of their prayers, because of their, richest heritage, culture, literature, everything. So that is what we preach. When you come to nymphs, in Kannada we call Apsare. Ramba, Urvasi, Menaki. So these three names of woman are known as, they are nymphs. Deva Kanyayaru, Apsareyaru anta kariತೀವಿ ನಾವು, isn't it? So they used to entertain the gods and goddesses in. So that is our belief. Maybe a supernatural, maybe a mouth to mouth, age to age, a folklore form of literature or belief that has come till today. And we use it in a different manner to this present context here. That our belief in nymphs, whether it is true or false, we have to believe that we ourselves or the woman, girls can become nymphs on earth. It is a symbol of beauty. A symbol of divinity. divine things, beauty and divinity. And it is a symbol of good. Which one? Heaven. And hell is a symbol of bad. See here how we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, about which we are going to study, about which we are going to work on in this poem. It is divinity, beauty, goodness, bad. Badness, of course, we are not going. But to understand the real value of goodness or heaven, we should create hell also in our explanations or discussions, not in our practice or life as such. So that is why, my dear students, here we go. Time here. So I think I am clear in describing or explaining the things, introduction part to the poem Heaven if you are not here on earth, and the brief, very brief information about our original writer, that is Sri Kuvempu, and also the explanation of a note on Dr. C. Naganna, who is a contributor of this translated work into English. And the main topics are the inclusions that we have in this poem: heaven, nymphs, God, and where we also have taken with extra thing, that is hell, okay, to understand the thing or the theme or the concepts that he introduced in this poem Heaven if you are not here on earth. So is that clear? And also we have worked on the pre-reading activity so completely here, and we have elaborated our discussion so much that we have never left any topic or concept related to this here. And once again, it is the nature that the poet is insisting on much here, and nature can give us the heavenliness in our life. And it is the thing in which man can be enlightened and can see whatever he can see or visualize. Natural beauty, once again, nature here is. So that's all. I'll be winding up today's class. Okay. Thank you one and all. Have a great day.